How's it going, guys? My name is Brandon, and I'm here with a special guest. This is SlapShot, and today we're doing a creator interview. This is our Creator Spotlight series. This is being recorded live, actually, and SlapShot is joining us. This is SlapShot Tech joining us for this interview, and we're going to just break down connecting with them, talking about their story, their content, and let me just tell you, I think that he has more tech. This is hard to believe. I think he has more tech than I do. And it's crazy. So, SlapShot, how's it going, man? Welcome to chat.
Doing great. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So, do this for me. Break it down for me. Channel, you started it. How'd it go? How's it going? Give us some background on you.
Yeah. So, channel wise, I started it at the end of last year, where I actually I came up with the name, kind of, created the channel. I think it was like December 26th. I think it was the day after Christmas. I went in there and created the channel, secured the name. Didn't actually post anything until February, where I did a short. It was like, I think right after the Super Bowl, and I kind of threw it together, kind of like almost like dipping my toes in the water, kind of see what this thing is all about. And then I started from there coming up with ideas of like, what do I actually want to do with this? Like, is it just tech? Is it just sports? Because I love both. And everything, I know I watched probably more videos than I probably should have prior than just going and doing it. But it was more like, everything's like, oh, niche down. I'm like, well, that's not really what I want to do. I don't want to seclude anybody, but I'm sure there's more. If I like sports and I like tech, I'm sure there's other people out there like me. So right. We can create that community there. Yeah,
totally. So that's behind SlapShot Tech. Obviously, SlapShot being yes. a nudge to hockey, right?
Correct. And what's weird about that is I'm a Florida boy, born and raised.
Being a hockey fan?
And being a hockey fan, yeah. So it's right. not the first sport down here.
Right, yeah. No, it's totally not. So then we make the channel. So your channel, really, you've been posting for 3 months. That is crazy.
I think my first major posting video was in March.
Right. Gosh, that is crazy. So 2 months ago, you start really posting your first major post. That was just like last guest we just had on. Same thing. 2 months just going into it. And you are doing both. You're doing tech content and sporting content, especially with like, who do you favor on some of your shorts, talking about which game's going to win over which game. I've been enjoying looking at those. That's really cool. So we made the channel. We go through it. How are we doing so far? How are you feeling about where your content's been since you started posting in February?
Yeah, ups and downs, definitely. And it's kind of like I guess the first video I did was on the PlayStation Portal one, and that one has like taken off crazy, and it's at least getting 100 views a day. That's surpassed 2,000 views, and which is crazy because I was thinking, okay, I'm going to post something. It's going to be like, that's my first video. And, I may get 50 views, something, but that one has just like taken off. And, I usually, when I post something when I'm thinking about what I'm going to post, I look at what's kind of like trending and how can I do it differently. It's probably the best way to say it. Like, everybody's going to have a review, but what can I do to make that different? Like, kind of like, I did the Elgato, the face cams, the different cameras.
Yes.
Where I broke it down and I placed each one in the different screens, and I'm kind of doing some crazy motions and stuff. But yet to see, and there might be some out there, but yet to see a review where it's like, they show you how it looks on a green screen, what does it look like in the different environments, even if it might not be something that somebody would use as far as like a streamer, but it's different. It's eye-catching. It's like, this guy put some detail, he put some thought into it.
Right. And specifically that video, can I just say that was actually one of the videos you came on. We watched the PlayStation video the first time. And just for those of you listening, I do content reviews where people come on and submit their channels. We take a look at their content. SlapShot, I think the second time they came on was that video. And not only was I blown away because Sony ZV-E10 4K 30, fantastic, like this same shot, right? But the voice was crazy good and the quality was great. And then I looked at channel size and I was like, this is ridiculous. There's no way that this is the case. But obviously you just started. So, but in that video, you framed it as like the best Elgato camera. But then at the very end, you're like, here's it with the iPhone. Here's it with the Sony. Here's it with the Canon. And it was like, God, the investment. I don't have that many cameras, and I have a bunch of stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, one of the things I kind of learned from a video was that with Google search, and I think that was my first one that I actually did chapters. And if you frame those chapters as a searchable thing,
yes,
it'll actually show up as a video. And I look at my analytics and I can see where it spikes at those certain areas where maybe somebody searched that term and it's like, face cam versus this, what does it look like? Face cam versus the Sony, face cam versus the Canon. And it but you definitely see those spikes in the analytics.
Yeah, and that totally is true. That's a big tip for anyone. I think maybe you reiterate that tip so everyone understands. It's like having multiple titles, right? For people really
absolutely.
To find it.
Yeah. It definitely, basically taking those, chapters is good for, longer content. But if you're doing something that's going to be, that you want people to actually search for it, that you're making it search-based content, using that title of that search, that chapter as whatever you're trying to key for search, making that the title of the chapter.
Yeah, exactly. And the big thing there is Google owns YouTube. And so it's really awesome when you search a YouTube video and it pops up or in Google something, it pops up in YouTube with a video and it literally has the timestamp. And when you click the timestamp, it loads the video at that direct moment where you've timestamped. And it's so huge. That's so cool. So great tip from SlapShot already. So we post that video, right? We get it reviewed on the channel. I think we talk about making a better thumbnail, things like that, right?
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
So now we've started making some growth on the channel. What has been one of your biggest drawbacks, weaknesses that you've discovered from creating content in the last 3 months that you've struggled with?
Time.
Since that. Time?
Time. Yeah, definitely time. Because I do work a regular job. Have a wife, I have a daughter, we have family, gotta, prioritize them as well. They're fully on board with me doing this, but I can't put them on the back burner because I want to do this content creation journey.
Yeah, totally.
I would say that's probably the major delay in content creation. I would say my second one would be I have so many ideas and it's basically how do I get that created with just me? Because the other day I was thinking, well, if I had I need 4 or 5 people, I need a whole production crew.
Right.
If I could get a whole production crew, we could knock this thing out, and we'd be done with it. And have it done in a week kind of thing. But I know I'm doing my own editing right now, which I love. I love learning how to do certain things within the editing. But I'd like to hire an editor at some point to do some test the waters on hiring an editor, maybe on Fiverr or whatever. I think there's a YouTube jobs site as well. But my concern is, how do I shoot that video so that the editor envisions what I'm envisioning?
Yes.
Because if it's not you and I sitting here on a call or sitting in a room hashing it out on a whiteboard, I'm sending it over through Fiverr, I'm uploading it and trying to type it out. And it's like something could be lost there in that conversation. So that's my major concern there.
Yeah, there's so much that you just like opened up and to unpack. I want to go back for a moment. When it comes to time, I think everyone struggles with time, batching content, finding time, especially as a parent, as a husband, full-time job, being able to provide. That's a lot of, and adding content on top. I was one of those people that the same thing. Dad, I was a parent, husband, and my choice was to sacrifice sleep, which was not a good thing. But I made sure that I never touched content until my son was in bed. Right. Mm-hmm. And my wife and I had, we were understanding, like, I'm going to do this at this time. We'll be, we had understanding. But that was a big journey for me. And that was creating those boundaries was really important for me early on, of saying, like, I can't let it cross this point, because one, it's not monetary. It's not, income for us.
Right.
When it switched, it was a different story, but that was a hard conversation. And then when you talk about, just trying to make sure you connect and grow and do some stuff like that, hiring an editor, I think it's really important. You're early in your journey. This is my suggestion to you. I would wait to hire an editor until you really know what you want. And what I mean by that is, I work with editors all the time. And what I do is, at the very beginning of the video, when I start my A-roll, I already know what the video is going to look like. I literally sit there and say, all right, whoever the editor's name is, this is how I want you to do the thing. I'm going to be sending you these clips. This is exactly how it's going to go. There's might be some, unexpected things that occur, but this is the framing of the video that's going to occur. And that's at the very front of it before I even get started as a project title, basically. Every video I've always done that, and it's always worked well with editors, just giving them that slate from the front, because I can't necessarily see them connected. Right. But I also think that because I've edited for the long length that I've had, I'm able to accurately communicate, like, make sure you watch the levels here, make sure you add a compressor, because I'm going to be on, a handheld camera rather than, on a mic. I'm able to communicate to make their job easier. I think that's important, and that you don't learn that unless you've done the work, and went through that process. So I really think that you need to struggle to edit before you can communicate properly. Right. That being said, a couple of my clients have never touched an editor in their life. And they just call me and they're like, here you go. So that's part of it too. All right, let me ask you this next question, tech wise, because I want to talk about your goals and what you're doing, but I've got to ask you, like, right here, God, what kind of tech do you have over there, man? Just looking back behind you, I'm looking at a PS5 controller, an Xbox. I see the looks like the Legion console. Tell me, what was your latest upgrade that you made or purchase?
Oh man. Today I got the
Today I'm done. All right, go ahead.
I got a new iPad. The new M4 iPad.
No, you didn't. Did you get it with the? Oh my gosh. Do you have it in front of you? Please tell me you do.
I haven't unboxed it yet.
Okay. Never mind. Okay. Oh, yeah. Did you get the one with the nice etching on the screen or whatever?
No. Because I don't do enough like graphic work like that where I would want that, and I feel like unless I actually tested it inside like the store, I don't know if I'd like it. I would much rather apply something, because they have like screen protectors that you can buy now that give you that textured feel anyways, but I like the traditional. I'm a traditionalist that way, I guess.
Glossy screen.
I like the glossy screen. Yeah,
cool. Oh, M4 iPad, it literally just launched too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, yeah. You got to tell us how it is. So what's your goal? Are you going to implement that in content, or is it for work, personal?
So it'll probably be content. I'll probably do like an unboxing video and stuff. I'm still waiting on, I mean, it's only because of my lack of being able to go over there today, because I ordered it through Best Buy, but at the keyboard and the pencil, so for the Pro. So But I didn't have, and I feel like Apple made this M4 iPad Pro for me and my group because I was one of those that had my last iPad was the M1, and I
Right.
didn't have a reason to change. It was just like everything that came out was comparable. It wasn't worth the upgrade. You might have something a little bit here and there, but it wasn't something that was like, you know, worth it to me. So, and I feel like with a lot of the AI stuff that's coming out, or that it's going to come out, it'll with the M4, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, with the AI, it's got, was it 2 dedicated neural? I can't remember the spec now off the top of my head. It has dedicated neural stuff on there.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, see, I'm love my iPad is literally a ninth generation iPad. I'm cool with it. I don't use it enough to really worry about it. But right there is my M1 Mac Air. That's my like go all away. I have yet to find a thing that M1 can't do except 4K 60 without me doing proxies. I don't see myself upgrading. Maybe an M4 Mac Air if they drop it. I don't think they have. But if they do, maybe. But God, the M series for Apple has been crazy. So GG's on your upgrade, man.
Absolutely.
So what do you plan to sell the M1? Do you plan to keep it? How do you do your tech? Do you recycle it? Do you send it on? What do you do with it?
Yeah, usually it depends on what it is. Something like that. If I do it within a year, like with the transition within a year, I'll usually trade it in back into Apple and get with that difference. Probably with this, I might keep it and repurpose it as like a because I'm mostly Mac based, so I might use it as like a monitor extension type of thing. Like if I want to start doing Twitch streams, so maybe I might have that as like my my chat up on that, because you can do it with the I think it's called Sidekick or whatever you call it,
Sidecar.
Sidecar, yeah. So using that.
Yeah. Also, M1 Mac or the M1 Air, whatever it was, can stream as well. You can actually stream. They have it's an OBS piece on there. You can actually connect capture cards, the cam links, all that stuff. You can connect directly to the iPad and stream with it now. Elgato has software and Camo has software.
Yeah, I've tried it with I haven't actually like done the stream, but I have the actual software, the apps on there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. Like I think it's the one actually, I think you were at TwitchCon, you talked to the people.
Camo.
Camo, where you can do basically do your layers and stuff if you want to have overlays on that. But then you also have the the Prism as well. They have one that you can use.
Yeah. The one downside with Prism is you have to use the built-in stuff. With Camo, you can, because that's a USB-C iPad, you can connect a dock and connect capture cards, externals, anything like that. You can treat it as a second monitor. Elgato just released their same software that does the same thing. Same kind of deal for the iPads. So
I wish they would, if Elgato is listening, they need to come out with a Wavelink app. So that way we can hook up USB mics to the iPad and do some levels.
Listen, if Elgato is listening, which I'm going to be honest, they might, because they just sent me a whole bunch of stuff and they've been watching the channel to make sure I'm basically posting their content. But if you're watching, can you please just sell the Wavelink app for $70 that you can download?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Just on PC, and then include it. Maybe have it if you have your Elgato software, if you're going to stream, right? Can you just include it as a $39.99 upgrade or something inside the software? Please make it simple. It's so good. You could just buy the Stream Deck Plus for $200 though.
Yeah.
Or not. Okay, so let's get back to content. Okay, let's talk about future. SlapShot Tech is 2 months old posting, 3 months old posting, right? Right. The growth that we've had to this point has been great. Seeing that first video pop off, we've learned some lessons from it, trying to optimize and go somewhere. Where is SlapShot Tech in 5 years? I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. You're at, we're at our age in life, right? There's not much more of those 5 years tacking on there. What's the goal? Do you want to make this a full-time endeavor? Is this just a fun hobby thing? What does that look like for you?
Right now, I would say it's kind of a fun hobby thing, but if I could make a little money on the side, that would be great. But yeah, like you said, as an elder millennial,
God, don't make me feel older.
Well, I'm older than you, so.
Right. Yeah, I'm still a millennial, man. Still in the generation. Right.
But yeah, I mean, 5 years from now, I don't know, the niche may have to change.
True. And sports might be in a different place and you lean more into that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It might not be a tech situation, because if you do mix them, which I think is a really, and thinking from, I'm just brainstorming out of the top of my mind here, if you did more bridging by doing, talking about the cameras that are maybe used at these events and talking about the actual, like maybe the cinematography that led to that shot, or like at all hockey games, they have the portholes where you can stick the camera in, and that's how they get the shot that's not through the plexi, right? Talking about how production works at that point, the gear that they use, how stream decks are very common in production setups and stuff. You could easily make that connection and combine two audiences quickly and get a lot of traffic from that. And even when you're talking about tech or hardware, the games that you might use, or maybe the tech that you're showing or the series you're showing could be sports related. I think there's ways that you could probably capitalize a little further on that, knowing that broadcast in both situations are already intertwined.
Right.
So I think you could lean more into that. Might be able to bridge your SlapShot Tech gap there. Cool. So 5 years, man, hobby. Also, let's get you to where we can get you some products sent to you. That would be crazy good, right?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I might do that. I might get you connected with Fi-Fine and let them start sending you some stuff, because your content is crazy good. Like, you're creating content value quality wise at such a high level already. I can only imagine where you're going to be in a year. Easy.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to I think I just hit 38 subs today, which it's not really a thing for me. Like, I'm not worried like, oh, let me get 100,000 subs. For me, it's more like, okay, let me get to 50, so at least when I go in shorts, if I stream in shorts, I get pushed. So like those little markers, and maybe then that next, for the monetization with the 1,000 subs and the 4,000 watch hours. I think it's only a matter of time for you, honestly. Yeah, if I got 1,001, I'd be happy, because at that point it doesn't matter. At that point, because then it's all view based. Yeah, totally. And I think even from if you wanted to push subscribers, making more content around, that broadcast piece, for like what I just mentioned, you can make a bunch of shorts around that and get a bunch of traction off of it. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Good for you. And even saying the number, I have yet to ask anyone's following live on any of these. You offered it, which is fine. I don't think that number shows as much. You just said, how many views are you getting a day? A day? Well, on that one. Like in total, like what's your daily views around? Probably around 200. And I actually had a theory on one of my shorts that I did some change. I changed it up a little bit because I saw that it kind of like fell out of the shorts feed. So I went in there and adjusted some titles. I adjusted the title and I changed some tags and updated the description a little bit. Let it sit. It cooked for a couple hours and it kind of got pushed back into the shorts feed. So now it got stagnant and now it's picking back up again, which is funny because it's the one for the NHL playoffs, the round 2, my predictions, which that started like a couple weeks ago. So obviously people are still seeing it and they're like, why am I seeing this now? But hey, just watch it. Well, you also have to remember, if they interacted one of your other pieces of content that might be relevant, they're immediately going to be seeing your others. So, it could just be that they're finding that old piece of content and they're finding value in it too. So I think that's fine. Or maybe they're like, let's see if he was right. I've actually been pretty right on on a lot of them. I think there was last round. My lightning lost, so I was wrong about that. But that
Dang.
was more biased opinion. And then I would say all the other ones were, I think, right. I think there might have been one other one that was that it didn't get right, but yeah, it was pretty. This one, it looks like it's going to turn out that I'm probably going to get all of them right.
I love that. Time traveler. That's what it is. That's crazy. Good for you, man. Hey, so here's what I've got. Let's wrap this up and bring it back down. But I do want to make sure everyone understands. At SlapShot Tech, go check him out. He's got a lot of different styles of content. You know, well, he's got two styles of content. He has tech and he has sports. You should go check it out. I have recommended his camera video that we talked about earlier multiple times already to people who keep asking about what camera should I get. Well, there's a guy who's already done all of the research for you and shows you all the comparisons. You probably should just buy the $159 Elgato like Mark II. That basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you should totally do that. So anywhere else, what is do you plan to stream going forward? What do you plan to stream? What are your thoughts?
Probably I want to do some gaming.
Okay.
I do like to play games, but not what I would play. It probably won't be like, it's not like, you know, Fortnite or Valorant or anything like that. Or maybe I play a little bit of like Call of Duty here and there, but mostly I play Madden. Some NHL 24. Like to play a lot of retro games. So like N64 games and stuff like, you know, Mario Kart on 64, stuff like that, just like retro stuff. And then if I have like a chill stream, I think I wanted to do it this year, but I just kind of never got around to it. Kind of like have a stream where I'm watching like the games and kind of giving like my, like the hockey, you know, and kind of giving like, not like necessarily a play-by-play, but like, hey, this is what's going on, and getting feedback. Sure. And, you know, having, you know, talking with chat, like kind of like chirping back at each other. I'm sure people would come in that are the opposing team kind of thing. Kind of, I don't know if you're familiar with Steve Dangle. He's not necessarily, he's a kind of a content creator. He's been around for a while. He's a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and he's obviously had some pretty rough years because of I'm not being able to win, but he's very boisterous, but he kind of does that. He has a whole podcast thing and a whole, like, yeah, he's got a whole big production.
That's awesome. Good. Hey, man.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And again, I think it's another way to bridge the gap, get people in, they can connect with you. I think that's great. Just always be careful showing live footage.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't show the footage. It would be more of me watching it, yeah, and maybe like playing a game or something on the screen, and kind of have some overlays right now where I've kind of already made where it'll update scores. And I'll have the teams and stuff, and I'll do it automatically. So it's not like I have to actually go in there. It's pulling from a API call that I have set up, and it's just a browser source that I would overlay kind of thing. Yeah. That's actually not hosted on one of my servers. So
I love that. On one of my servers. Hold on. Do you have servers? Don't freak me out. Oh, no, you don't. Okay, what do you have? What do you have? The main server and NAS? Okay.
And and I have a NAS, yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm getting ready to. This is a project that I've been putting off, but I haven't had time. And I've been thinking about how can I incorporate it with my channel now at this point. But I bought 6. I have 6 2014 Mac Minis that I bought off of eBay that I got for $250.
Okay.
Some of them are gutted. Some of them are not gutted. But I'm going to end up gutting them all anyway. So I bought a bunch of SSDs, which are solid state drives, if anybody doesn't know what that is. And then I'm going to upgrade the RAM, and then I'm going to cluster them in, and basically create one big, like, almost like a data center, but just with those 6 Mac Minis.
Because they're so power efficient. Why not? Right.
Yeah. I mean, granted, they're Intel, but because they're the 2014s, so it's good because I went for the older ones because I knew I could get them kind of like salvaged, and all I needed them to do was power up because I was going to take the internals out anyways.
Yeah.
And basically, you know, I'm going to flash them with the data center software. Already have a Proxmox server that's running on an old Mac Pro from like 2012.
All Apple. I love it, man. Listen, I love Proxmox. I ran Proxmox for a year. Absolutely loved it. The only reason I left it was I just did not use all of the services. So I just literally went straight to Scale and now I'm on True NAS Scale because I just really needed the NAS and like a couple VMs, right? But for those of you who don't know, Proxmox is basically just a server.
Like a hypervisor.
It is a hypervisor, but it's basically you're able to break up your computer into multiple little bits where you can host little different pieces of servers. You can do containers. You can put like any kind of stuff on that you want, and it kind of hosts everything in itself. You can do NAS work, which is like a home server, which is where you can do file sharing, things like that. Yeah, man. God, I'm such a nerd too. God, and I say too because you're such a nerd too.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, I think we could probably go for like the next hour talking about tech stuff, but let me
absolutely.
Let me wrap this around so we can get back to this. What is your one piece of advice to someone who's just starting creating from your perspective where you are that you want to give them?
Yeah, I would say take it slow. There's going to be ups and downs, but though you have to learn from the failures. You have to learn from take it like a roller coaster. You have to make sure that while you have the momentum going down and you might feel low, you have to get that momentum to get you back up at the top of the hill.
Love
and
it.
You're going to have peaks and valleys. It's going to look like your analytics.
Up, down, up. Yes. Every time.
Yeah. But you need to have that strive to keep you going. Cause if you don't, then it's just, you can't give up.
Yeah, totally.
And just start. Cause don't wait a year watching videos and then finally do something about it.
I feel like you're calling someone out there. I feel like you're directing that.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, I think I've heard that also, that I don't have the skills. I need to watch to figure it out. I need to practice. And that whole, in your case, a year. Imagine if you'd started a year ago, where you would be today.
Right. Yeah.
So also just have to ask, are you looking at the prompter, or do you have the prompter in front of you?
No, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew it. Cause it's the eye connection is so clear. Oh man. Hey, I got a thing coming out, a video coming out on the prompter that you totally should take a look at. There's a fellow creator in the business who's made some really cool adapters for the prompter to make it a whole lot more steady for your camera.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm testing it right now, but once it's done, if I've got spare stuff, maybe I just ship them out to you and let you take a look at it, and you can review it on the channel. So it's
yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty cool stuff, and it's like I said, it's a fellow creator, but I think it'd be great to sip it out because you're the only person I know like in my realm that also has a prompter.
I use it for work too, and it's like people are like, "Why are you looking straight at the camera?"
Brother, because I can see. I'm just watching the Zoom call. That's all I'm doing. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, sure, the lens is right behind the thing, but
right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Do you have any questions for me?
Let's see. What? Obviously, to learn, what kind of outside of looking at like YouTube videos, because that only gets you so far. What kind of like coursework, I think, would you suggest? Like, is there anything?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't think anyone's ever asked me that, but that's totally huge. Storytelling. I think that, did you ever do when you were in school theater or anything like that?
No.
Yeah. I think a lot of YouTube is telling the story. And when it comes to making reviews, it's kind of the same thing of us, here's the product, the arc, the whole story arc. Here's the product, let's talk about how good it is. Here's the reveal. Here's our wind down. It's the same kind of climactic act series, right? I think if anything, I would find, and it might be a YouTube thing, or it might be like a local like improv class, might be a really good thing, especially if you're not really good on camera with inflections and up and downs and good facial movement. I think any kind of improv class would be nice, or any kind of way to even get into creative writing where you're actually doing the storytelling, and do it completely out of the context of what you're doing in content, so that you can bring that idea back. Because what I could tell you is go figure out better ways to improve your lighting, go figure out better ways to improve your editing. But those are all things that you're already doing. This is something that most creators probably struggle with, is framing the idea to make it simple. Because then once you figure out the idea, then script writing, framing all your shots, when you talked about getting a whole production team, at that point you're able to say like, what do I really need to accomplish to tell the story? And then it kind of simplifies that process. Some people have that background. Like I did musical theater with kids. I have that built in, but my thing was I didn't know the editing stuff. I didn't know anything about cameras 3 years ago when it came to ISO and aperture and learning the camera and all the stuff. Like that was my learning experience. The tech's not yours. Now I think it would be that piece. Yeah, finding some way to do storytelling. Creative writing is huge. There's plenty of like online blogs where you can go and do creative writing with people. There's Discords where you can actually submit your stuff and let them read it. Even doing improv, there's actually a lot of Discord channels for improv where you join the live stage and it's your turn and you get on and they give you a prompt and you kind of just do the improv live. It removes the whole like face and you're just doing the audio piece. Those are really good, all free options. But honestly, if you can do a local piece where you go in person and kind of learn from someone, it'd be best. And it's a cool family thing too. Imagine taking your wife and just go for the two of you and be like, hey, we're going to go take this improv class. And I think that's a good date idea too.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Favorite Pokemon? Come on, retro.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like I said, I'm an elder millennial. That's like that came after me.
Okay, all right. Florida. So Braves might be completely out of the thing because you were a completely different thing. But favorite Braves pitcher is the best thing I can come up with.
Ooh,
back at that time, like early '90s, mid '90s, late '90s.
Greg Maddux, probably.
Yes, I knew it. Okay, what was your relationship with Bobby Cox, though?
Just something else, yeah.
Okay, same thing we all had. No one liked him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. See, it might not be a Pokemon thing, but it'd be all right. We'll make it work.
No.
Greg Maddux is a good answer. What's your current team right now? What'd you say, NHL? What's your team?
So for the NHL, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Hometown. Is that hometown for you?
It is, yeah. And then for football, it's the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And then for baseball, we're going to throw a curveball out there, and it's going to be the New York Yankees. And everybody's like, well, why the Yankees and not the Rays? And I always have to explain to them, well, growing up, the Yankees were actually here prior to the Rays. So their spring training home is here in Tampa.
Yeah.
And I would go, and then they actually have a farm team here too. So Class A ball.
Right.
So like Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, all of them. I met them when they were coming up into, before they were, the big stars that they are now. Yeah. They were playing the Class A ball. And then it was because you're at a Class A farm team, little minor league baseball game, a lot of these players are accessible. So you have the autographs and stuff. You just go ask them for an autograph. And met George Steinbrenner, who was the owner of the Yankees before he passed. It still owns the family still owns it. But yeah, so it's stuff like that growing up as a kid, being in that environment. So my heart is with the Yankees.
Yeah,
I don't have any, and it's hard because I would be a Rays fan, but they're in the same division, so it's they're gonna play each other.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be a
So-
Yankees. Dang, man. Hey, that's good. That's good. I love it. I wish I was more into sports, but it's one of those things I don't have the time to even get into it. I personally love football. I like college ball to watch it just because it's so exciting. Because it's they want it, you know. They need it. They need the
Right.
moments. So, crazy, man. Hey, Slapshot, it's been a pleasure, honestly.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Anything last minute you want to say to anyone? Anything last minute? Looking at chat.
SlapShotTech.com.
Yeah, SlapShotTech.com. Get that domain going. I love it. I love it. Good for you, man. All right, guys, make sure you go check out Slapshot over at SlapShotTech.com, at SlapShot Tech on YouTube. Are you on other socials anywhere? Twitch?
I'm on Twitch. I have the X Twitter, and I usually post a lot of sports stuff on there, or retweet a bunch of sports stuff on there, but it's some tech stuff as well. I do have the TikTok, but I'm not doing any dances, and
So we're
I'm
not
on
famous.
Instagram. Nah.
Dang. I was hoping to see a Slapshot dance. That's what I was hoping for.
My 13-year-old daughter would probably disown me.
No.
Although I try to, it's funny because like I'll start talking to her and I'll be like, "Yo, look at my drip, isn't it fire?" And she just gives me that 13-year-old like look. It's
you're
like
an idiot.
yeah.
Just next time, when you see her, like, because it's late at night, she's probably in bed, but next time, like,
Yeah.
look at her and be like, skibbity. Just say skibbity.
Okay.
The whole face will drain. Okay. Oh, and also big backed. Big backed is the new thing. Okay.
Okay.
That's an insult. So don't say like you're big backed, but
All right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, that one you'll get a pull from that one too. All right. I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a great night. Thank you for jumping
Absolutely. I
on.
appreciate you.